having a worrying impact on the world's economy.
Joining us now is consumer behavior expert Dr. Vili Abraham to discuss the implications. So let's first talk about the economic losses that we're seeing here in Israel as a result of the coronavirus. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right, well, there are still not clear implications, but we might suffer several implications. So first of all, the tech industry is probably going to suffer, the diamond industry. A lot of products that come into Israel do originate in China.
Right.
11% of all imports and 13% of all exports go to China. So it's one of the most serious and important trading partners of Israel.
Right, and what about the stock market in China as well? I mean, I heard that shares are just,
they're falling. Yeah, the reason it's falling is because, look, there are a lot of international retailers who have shops in malls in China, and they have been closed temporarily. So it means that there's no income, and if there's no income, shares go down. So that's one of the reasons why. By the way, also car makers have delayed production of major cars.
Right.
So we might even have a shortage of major cars.
Is this an opportunity maybe for savvy investors to say, oh, let's buy?
Yes,
definitely.
Buy Definitely, because stock markets go down, but they also increase eventually.
Right.
But we don't know when this is going to end. We have to remember that back in 2002, when we had the SARS issue, China was a lot smaller. It didn't have such a major impact on the global economy, and now it has a very big impact. Look, for example, 80% of all ECs come from China. 70% of all mobile phones come from China, and 60% of all shoes. So we might see shortages even here in Israel.
I mean, I was just thinking about the production of products in China. You mentioned cars, but what about retail? I mean, there are so many worldwide businesses that have, especially in retail and clothing specifically, that are based in China. So I'm just thinking, how do you deal with that, right? Because this is all contact. I don't know. It's very scary.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. But one of the things that you can do is you actually can move your production elsewhere. But that's a lot of money. It takes a long time to do. So
well, and then there's a whole quarantine issue that you have to deal with in doing that, right?
Exactly. Workers can't go to work. Yeah. So here in Israel, we might have a serious problem because people who are ordering from eBay and AliExpress and all of that, they should avoid buying products that come from China because they might not arrive at all. And if they do arrive, it might take a few months, longer than usual.
Wow. Right. And I'm also just thinking about the Israelis living in China who actually came here. Came back to Israel, and they have to be quarantined for a specific amount of time, which means they can't work.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and if they leave home, they might be arrested. And the compensation that the government is trying to provide, probably will provide, is half the average income, which is half of $3,000.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us with this update. I wish we could say it was a positive one, but hopefully things will change.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
All right. Now for the